All right, long story short, the silliest ways people died. As you know, we live in a world full of dummies. Like, there's a trend in India where people take snaps of them walking next to trains while it's passing, and so many people have died doing that. I don't know what's going on around the world, but since day one, people have just been retarded.
Alan Chow. In November 2018, John Allen Chow, an American
2018. This is probably some challenge.
Christian missionary, illegally traveled to North Sentinel Island to contact and live among the Sentinelese, an isolated indigenous group, so he could convert them to Christianity.
Long story short,
of November, Chow paid local fishermen to take him to.
Long story short, this guy went to an island that's like, what's the word I'm trying to look for? I don't know, but like they're like the government says leave these guys alone. They're on an island. He goes there, tries to give them gifts and stuff, and they scare him off. He goes away. He comes back. He gives them like medicine and shit like that. And long story short, he's dead. His body's there, and he's dead.
Boy shot a metal-headed arrow that pierced the Bible he was holding close to his chest. After that, he retreated again. On his final visit, on the 17th of November, Chow told the fishermen to leave without him. The fishermen later saw the islanders dragging Chow's body, but his remains were never recovered. 7 fishermen were later arrested for taking Chow to the island illegally. Joseph Smith. It was January 22nd, 2023, in Sumner County, Kansas. Joseph Smith, a plumber, decided to go hunting with a friend and his friend's shepherd dog when a tragic incident occurred. They loaded the dog and the guns into the back seat of the truck and headed into the woods. While Joseph sat in the passenger seat,
what are they hunting for? They never told us yet.
The dog accidentally stepped on the trigger, causing the rifle to discharge and shoot Joseph in the back. Emergency response units arrived within minutes and attempted to revive him, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. An initial investigation examined whether the dog was at fault, but the sheriff's office ruled the shooting an accident and closed the case. The dog was not harmed.
That's I don't know if that's karma, because at the end of the day, hunting shouldn't be a thing. Like, you should only be hunting if you're hunting like species that like keep fucking too much. You know what I'm saying? If they just keep fucking and the population is too much, okay, cool. But like hunting what were they hunting? But that's crazy. The dog, why would you even have the gun? So picture it. He's sitting down in the back seat on his phone or whatever. The gun is facing him on his side. The dog must have like adjusted himself, stepped on the trigger, boom, hit him in his side. I don't know.
Frank Cable. In January 2014, Frank Cable, a 35-year-old Zimbabwean evangelical pastor, had a revelation that told him that with enough faith, he could achieve what Jesus was able to do. He gathered his congregation.
Die for our sins and then resurrect?
And told them that he was capable of reenacting the very miracles of Jesus Christ. He decided to walk on water like Jesus did, so he took his congregation out to the beach in Libreville, the capital city of Gabon. He told them that he would cross the Gabon estuary on foot, a distance of 7 miles that normally takes 20 minutes by boat. As he stepped into the water, his right foot sank immediately. Sadly, by the second step into the water, Cabell found him.
Wait, what? There's no way he drowned on... There's no way he died on shore. Two steps in,
completely submerged and ultimately drowned. Archduchess
Did he try to walk in the deep end? Because the way the picture is like, it's shallow. Like, you know, when you walk into the beach, like, you start walking, then it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and up. This guy died on his second step?
Minutes by boat. As he stepped into the water, his right foot sank immediately. Sadly, by the second step into the water, Cabell found himself completely submerged and ultimately drowned.
Nah, I think Jesus killed him. No disrespect, God. I think all right, big dog. Cause how did he die on the second step? On the second step next to the shore? All right, big dog.
Duchess Matilda of Austria. It was May 22nd, 1867, at Hetzendorf Palace in Vienna. 18-year-old Archduchess Matilda Marie Adelgunde Alexandra of Austria had put on a gauze dress to go to the theater and then lit a cigarette. Soon she heard her father approaching, and she remembered that he had strictly forbidden smoking. So she hid the cigarette behind her, accidentally setting her highly flammable dress on fire. Her back, arms, neck, and legs were severely burned before the fire could be extinguished. She suffered second and third degree burns over her entire body. Parts of her dress had melted melted into her skin, and she ultimately died of these injuries 2 weeks later. Her entire family witnessed her death. Wayne Roth. On November
What was she smoking? A torch? How the fuck does a yo, I ain't no cigarettes. And I understand chemicals and science. But so she hid it behind her and it caught on fire, probably because of the chemicals in her hair and whatever. And then I don't know, that kind of got too fast.
November 8th, 1997, 38-year-old Wayne Roth went to visit his friend Roger Croteau in Jenkins, Pennsylvania. While drinking beer and getting high with his friends, he decided to grab his friend's pet cobra from a reptile tank nearby. He was instantly bitten in the right hand by the cobra, so his friend Roger suggested that they go to a hospital and insisted on taking him there. But Wayne had other plans. He said he did not need to go to the hospital. He was going to handle it like a man. He asked,
was it venomous? Wait, he said cobra. He said cobra, right? Cobra. King Cobra. Those are the rattlesnakes, no? King Cobra, no? Yeah, right, no?
To be taken to a local bar instead. While drinking there, he bragged about being bitten by a snake to everyone. Unfortunately, though, cobra venom is slow-acting. He felt unwell within 3 hours of being at the bar and died shortly afterwards while being driven to the hospital by his friend. A toxicology report showed that Roth's blood alcohol content was 0.354, over 3 times the legal limit in the state, and that controlled opiate substances were present. The official cause of death was listed as cardiorespiratory failure due to drug overdose. Luciano Ray Cecconi. On January 18, 1977, 28-year-old Lazio footballer Luciano Ray...
Did he say Nazi football?
On January 18, 1977, 28-year-old Lazio footballer Luciano Ray Cecconi, along with his teammate Pietro Guedin and another friend, decided to stage a fake robbery in Bruno Tabacini's jewelry store in Rome. They believed it would be a hilarious prank. The trio masked up and stormed into the shop, shouting that it was a robbery. Unbeknownst to them, the store had been robbed just days earlier, and the owner, Bruno Tabacini, had
he had enough.
Armed himself as a precaution. When the masked men entered, Tabacini did not hesitate as he aimed his gun at Ray Cecconi's accomplice, who immediately dropped his weapon and raised his hands. But Ray Cecconi was committed to the prank and continued acting.
What?
Cini fired, hitting Luciano. Ray Cecconi's last words were reportedly, It's a
prank.
Joke. It's only a joke, but it was too late. The gunshot wound was so severe that he died just 30 minutes later at the age of 28, leaving behind his wife and 2 children.
My nigga, you have a... Oh my God. You have a wife and 2 children? You know what I think? I think the bros really went in there to actually try to rob the place. But like try to say, oh, let's use fake guns so we could, if it fails, we just say, oh, it was a joke, it was a prank. My nigga, you're 32 with 2 kids and a wife. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Like Luciano, like that's stupid of you. And then the 2 fellows, they dropped the gun, and you're still saying, nah, bro. After he done put out the whole AR-15 on you, and I'm gonna rob the headphone like this.
Bruno Tabacini was arrested and held for 18 days before being released without charge. Judge Severino Santiapici declared that the death was the result of self-defense and a terrible accident. Gary Hoy. On July 9th,
That's crazy though. Like you went to go rob a place and they were robbed 2 days prior. That's like fucked up timing. Because if you went and did that prank 3 days prior, then you would have probably got away with the money. Who knows?
3. Gary Hoy, a Canadian lawyer.
I'm so sorry for pausing. That's like going to the military base with the I don't know, bro. That's just stupid.
Was working in his office on the 24th floor when his secretary...
You don't prank a bank. You don't prank a bank because you're still going to look at time. You can't look at a judge and say, oh, it's just a prank.
Asked him to give a tour of the office to a group of law interns. While showing the interns around, he attempted to demonstrate the strength of the building's window.
I heard this shit.
Glass by slamming himself into a window. He had performed this stunt many times before, bouncing off the glass. After one successful attempt, Hoy tried again. In this instance, the force of his impact removed the window from its frame, causing both the intact window and Hoy to fall from the building. He fell 24 stories to his death.
Oh, Hoy.
I'm Alexander.
Alright, so long story short, if you didn't understand what just happened, there's this guy that works at a building. The building glass is indestructible. Every tour he gets, he hits this glass to show everybody that it's indestructible. And little does he know that every time he does it, he's loosening it up. At the end of the day, bro, it's a glass. Like, and the glass doesn't mean like you're not breaking the glass. The frame.
It was May 24th, 2019, in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Two Texans, Alejandro Cazares and his friend Roberto Moreno, were driving south when they encountered a lifting bridge closed
Oh
to
my
vehicular
god, don't tell me these guys thought they're gonna friggin' GTA 5 Fast and Furious this bridge.
traffic to allow boats to pass. With the safety gate down, Moreno exited the vehicle and pushed the gate arm up. Cazares
He got out the vehicle and he lifted the safety thing up? What happened next, Mr. Operator, man?
then drove under the gate, picked Moreno up, and continued toward the ramp at the end of the bridge. They stopped briefly before Cazares placed the vehicle in reverse and accelerated forward in an attempt to jump the bridge ramp. The car became airborne, landed in the waterway, and sank to the bottom. Cazares couldn't exit the vehicle, while Moreno was found outside the submerged car. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. Eric Barsha. It was July 12, 1997, in Reston, Virginia. Eric Barsha, a 22-year-old fast food worker, decided to go bungee jumping on his day off. He couldn't find any place
Bungee jumping on your day off? This is why they don't give us days off no more.
to practice bungee jumping in the area, so he figured he could do it himself. He chose a nearby railroad bridge in Lake Acotink.
Wait. He's doing self? He's doing self? What's what I'm looking for? Self-admitted? Is that the word? No, doesn't matter. He's doing it by himself?
Park, standing 70 feet high as his jump-off point. He tied together a bunch of bungee cords, which turned out to be a few feet shorter than the height of the bridge.
A few feet shorter. A few feet shorter. What does that mean again? A few feet shorter than the height of the bridge. A few feet shorter than the height of the bridge or the drop? A few feet shorter. Oh, so he means like he's gonna hit his head, but like not hit the ground, I think.
He headed to the jumping location, tied one end of the bungee cord around his leg, attached the other to the bridge trestle, and jumped. Yet the cords did not stop him above the ground. Eric failed to account for the cord's stretch, making the total length of the cords greater than the height of the bridge. He hit the ground with such force that he died instantly.
No, the nigga's gonna get fall damage, and pop a mini shield. Of course he's dead. 70 feet, 70 plus feet.
Randy Lee Tenley. It was August 28th.
All right, so far out of all these deaths, the most stupidest one is the car twins. I'm gonna call them the car twins. Rest in peace to you guys, but that was really crazy. What do you mean you lifted up the safety thing and then tried to...
2012 in Kalispell, Montana, when Randy Lee Tenley, a 44-year-old Montana native...
No. The stupidest one was the bank robber guy that had 2 kids and a wife at home. Fuck.
Decided to play a prank. Dressed in a military-style ghillie suit, he headed to the highway at night to provoke a Bigfoot sighting. A 15-year-old girl driving in the right-hand lane of U.S. Highway 9...
A 15-year-old girl driving?
93 struck him, and as he lay in the road, a 17-year-old girl in another...
17-year-old girl? What the fuck's going on today? Underage driving is going on? What year was this?
Montana 8th, 2012, in Kalispell.
2012? We're not driving at 16, 17?
Military-style girl driving in...
15 years old in 2012? We're not driving at that age.
To the highway at night to provoke a Bigfoot sighting. A 15-year-old girl driving in the right-hand lane of U.S. Highway 93 struck him, and as he lay in the road, a 17-year-old girl in another vehicle ran him over. Because it was a full-body suit made of camouflage fabric, the drivers had a hard time spotting him. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Acton Beale. On May 15th,
Well...
2011 at 4:30 a.m. Acton Beale, a 20-year-old from Brisbane, Australia,
What are you doing at 4:30 in the morning?
had been out
That's SWAT team time.
drinking with a friend and planking, posing face down in various unusual
Oh my god, planking. Oh my god. We're about to have a South Park episode.
spots on their way home. He decided on a more daring planking stunt and asked
South Park episode.
a friend to film it. He went to the balcony of his 7th floor
South Park episode coming in. For those who don't know, there's an episode where South Park basically makes an episode about this same exact dumb shit. Where people do these stupid ass shits. Hold on.
planking stunt and asked a friend to film it. He went to the balcony of his 7th floor apartment and attempted to plank there. While trying to lie down on a fence on his balcony, he lost his balance and fell 70 feet, fatally injuring himself. The emergency response units arrived within minutes and attempted unsuccessfully to resuscitate him for 20 minutes. He died on the spot, becoming the first known death caused by planking. Edward Archbold. In October 2012, Edward Archbold, a 32-year-old from West Palm Beach, Florida, decided to participate in an eating contest at Ben Siegel Reptile Store in
I'm not even gonna look at the screen. He decided to enter a contest. I don't know what kind of contest, eating contest it is, but I heard reptile.
Deerfield Beach. He had to eat as many live cockroaches,
How to end this video?
crickets, and worms as possible so he could win a giant snake. He was competing against 30 other participants, but unlike them, who ate one insect at a time, he shoveled handfuls of crickets, worms, and cockroaches into his mouth and drank water to wash them down. He won the contest. No one else ate close to what he did. He immediately went to the bathroom to vomit, then became ill and collapsed in front of the store. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead. About 30 people ate the insects, but authorities said none of the other contestants became ill. The death was ruled an accident caused by asphyxia due to choking and aspiration of gastric contents. Robert Overacker. On October 1st, 1995, 39-year-old Robert Overacker ventured to Niagara Falls, Canada, to attempt an audacious stunt. For 7 years, Robert meticulously planned how to jump off Niagara Falls on a jet ski, not just for the thrill, but to raise awareness for the homeless in his native California. He believed this was a cause that desperately needed more attention, and a stunt as daring as seemed the perfect way to bring it. Although Robert thought he had prepared
Did he say
stunt,
that it got approved? Hold on, you put the shit back on.
This was a cause that desperately ski, not just for the thrill, but to raise awareness for the homeless in his native California. He believed
What the fuck does jumping off the Niagara Falls in a jet ski have to do with spreading awareness about the homelessness in the city? We could see the homelessness in the city by walking past it, driving past it. You go into Niagara Falls where all right, bro.
This was a cause that desperately needed more attention, and a stunt as daring as seemed the perfect way to bring it. Although Robert thought he had prepared for the stunt, there was one critical oversight that would ultimately prove catastrophic.
Reality.
Planned to use a rocket-propelled parachute to soften the fall. As he ventured into the Niagara River, the jet ski had the words, "Save the Homeless," written on it. Shortly before going over the falls, he let go of the jet ski and lifted his hands high into the air. In an instant, he vanished from sight as he went over the edge. His rocket-propelled parachute failed to open, and he fell to his death. Overacker's body was recovered the next day, and he was pronounced dead at Niagara General Hospital. His failed stunt was
My nigga, he was pronounced dead in the water. What are you talking about? He was pronounced dead when he fell.
captured on video by a German tourist, Italian John Doe. It was April 19,
Italian John
2022,
Doe, that's his
Easter
name?
Monday in Catalica,
That's a
Italy,
crazy
when an
name.
unidentified
That's a nice name.
46-year-old man, feeling thirsty, decided to sneak into the back of a closed market. He picked up a bottle of water from a tall stack of crates, causing the entire stack to collapse on top of him. Employees returned to the shop the next day and were confronted with a collapsed mess of crates. A few hours into the workday, they began sorting the collapsed stack. When they lifted the first crate, an arm emerged. It was immediately clear that a tragedy had taken place. Thanks to CCTV footage, the Italian police were able to reconstruct the final moments of the 46-year-old's life. Mike Hughes. On February
Oh my God,
22nd,
I seen a rocket
2020,
ship.
64-year-old amateur rocket builder, Mad Mike Hughes, with the help of his partner Waldo
64-year-old amateur? You had 64 years to become a pro and you're still an amateur in rocket science? Let it go.
decided to reach an altitude of 5,000 feet while riding his homemade steam-powered rocket. Hughes was well known
shit.
for his belief that the Earth was flat. He hoped to prove his theory by going to space.
I kind of believe that the Earth is something. I don't believe what we're told, but I believe that is something.
The test was a stepping stone toward getting as close to space as possible. Mike propelled himself into the air and then crashed into the ground. The parachute, designed for landing, deployed too early and detached from the craft seconds after takeoff. Mike did not survive and was pronounced dead on impact. If you liked this video,
How high did he go though? All right, that was a crazy video. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.